Thank you, and welcome again, once again, boys and girls, to the fastest podcast on the airwaves today. It is the Cat's Corner Podcast, hosted by WWE Hall of Fame, WWE legend, WCW legend, and a four-time World Karate Champion, Ernest the Cat Miller, and me, Big Shug, Ray Keziah, trying to get over but can't seem to get there. Joined today by one half of Harlem Heat, WWE Hall of Famer Stevie Ray, and the Japanese sensation himself, Sonny Onoo. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, to the Cat's Corner.
Bro, and first of all, you messed up already. Sonny is not Japanese. He's the Mexican. He's Mexican.
Oliva Racha. All right, we're good.
Are we starting with this race stuff right now?
Hey,
what?
See, Sonny.
Oliva Racha.
Just messed that up.
Sonny, we're not starting no racist stuff. We just telling it like it is. Big Stevie, what do you have on there? Don't you have something like tell it like it is? You had something like that, but Stephen A. Smith stole it from you, took it from you.
Yeah, I know, man. He just stole a whole bunch of stuff from me, man.
I know. What was that? What did you have? What was that?
Straight shooter. He just stole it, bro.
Yeah, he
straight shooting Stevie Ray.
Then he gonna call his book Straight Shooter.
Yeah,
wait
exactly.
My book come out. What I'm gonna say about him?
Hey, but listen to this, guys. Whenever I heard Stephen A. Smith say to himself, he's a huge fan of Harlem Heat. He said those are his thing.
I did his radio show twice.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, back when you started radio show.
Wow.
Yeah, so me and Stephen A. are very acquainted.
Awesome. Great. Well, this show is about
big wrestling fan, huge wrestling fan.
We Sonny and myself and the cat saw him at the restaurant in Beverly Hills when we were there a year ago for
Did he speak to you?
No, he was in a private room, actually.
No. Wait a minute. He did speak to me. We made eye contact. He made
Oh my God. Here we go.
Sonny, didn't he, Sonny?
Sonny, did he even acknowledge us at all? No, he didn't.
Ray wanted us to see. Don't nobody know Ray. Let's just put it like that.
Well, so Ray is not a television personality, man.
He's not a television. The guy came in, and you know somebody, Stephen A. Smith, he ain't gonna jump and just float over people. He gonna look at you like he probably say, "Hello, how you doing?" And that's all he did. That's all
he did. And he didn't do that either. He was in a room by himself. No, hell no. He was in a room by himself.
Was he with some people, or was he by himself?
Yeah, he was. No, he was with a whole crew of people, probably 12 people with him.
Oh, okay. I got you.
He had a little party back there, and he had a little private room, and we saw him.
Okay.
And he was like, "What's up, Ray? Ray, good to see you. Good to see you. Get the baked potato." Anyway, so.
Okay.
So anyway, this episode is about who really killed WCW. There's a thing on Vice, a 4-part series that The Rock's production company's doing, and I think we all know that. And everybody's got differing opinions on it. We just watched the second episode last night. I know I watched it. Stevie, did you watch it?
Yes.
Sonny, did you get a chance to watch it?
I watched part of it, but I had some insight on what was going to be. So,
okay.
Well, Sonny's very close to Eric, so he couldn't probably stand what he was watching.
Probably not. What about you, Big E? Did you watch it?
No, I was in karate class.
Did you guys watch the part one? The first.
Yes.
Hey,
Sonny, I just told you I did a show on it last night.
You notice who Eric put over right off the bat, right?
Yeah, Ninja Stars.
He put you over.
Thank you.
And that was the last time I heard your. That was the last time I heard your name in 2 episodes. I mean, Sonny Onoo came and went, and when he was talking about you, he wasn't even in the wrestling business then. I think y'all was selling some jackleg shirts or something like that together.
Ninja Stars. Ninja Stars.
Yeah. Something like that.
I've never heard of that. I think it was just something. Hey, I think it was just something new they were trying to get out there right now, so they decided to use this moment to highlight. Sonny always selling. He always selling something.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Ernest.
Yeah, they was up to something.
Eric did text me and told me that we should remanufacture it and start selling it again. Because we can sell the shit out of it now. He did. He texted me and said, I think we can sell shit out of it.
Hey, I'm with it, brother. Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
So Big Ray, listen, this is what we're gonna do. Big Ray, we gonna look at this stuff through your eyes. You've been a fan of wrestling for a long time, right?
Since 1975, yes.
So you got your own perspective of what happened to WCW.
Right.
So
in my opinion, there was too many chiefs and not enough Indians. There's too many people trying to run the show, and leadership, you got to lead by example. And I don't think you guys had a great example of great leadership, the chain of command. And plus, when you merged with Time Warner, they didn't really give a shit about wrestling, in my opinion. And when they started hamstringing Ted Turner and his voice got smaller and smaller, so did WCW. In my opinion, that's just my opinion.
I mean, but let me ask you this, Ray. What are you basing your opinion on?
Just some of the stuff that I've read. I've read a little bit of Brad Siegel's book. I've read, a lot of stuff over. I mean, we're talking about something that happened 20 years ago. So,
well, let me ask you something. When it pertains to Brad Siegel, do you think he was a good leader from the perspective of what he was in the company? Reading his book is one thing. That don't actually mean he's telling the truth about a damn thing.
Well, I get that. And you guys lived it, so that's why we're having the show.
No, I'm just saying, Brad Siegel is a boss over a boss, so we don't get a chance to see what he does on a daily basis.
Yeah, same way.
Or even know what he do on a daily basis.
Harvey Schillinger, whatever his name. Schiller. Harvey Schiller.
Yeah.
So he was a boss, and you had all these bosses.
Exactly.
And then Eric was the boss, and then and then it got too much for Eric.
Then you got bosses. Then you got the bosses over them.
Right. So there was a lot of chiefs.
Well, what I'm saying, in a major conglomerate like WCW, it's not an outlaw show like a lot of people look at it as. Like this is just an outlaw show, and everybody out here from an entertainment point of view and the wrestlers' point of view, they're just getting away with murder. In a lot of ways, they were, but it's a part of Turner Broadcasting Studios. It's a big part of that. So it's not just like guys doing an outlaw show and just throwing shit against the wall like you do when you're in school. No, it's not. Right. So in essence, what I'm saying is, when people look at WCW from that outlet like you really don't see the big picture. And you can read books till the cows come home. It still don't mean. I want to know this. I want to ask the cat and I want to ask Sonny this. They've had 2 episodes on the demise of WCW. On the last episode, what do you think they're going to say as to what killed WCW?
Well, I think this is why I feel, right? Because I was there when Eric got let go and fired in September.
What year was that? That was 2099.
99.
Okay.
When he got let go, I actually flew to Cody, Wyoming, and hung out with Eric. We went fishing together. I mean, I was.
He said something about that on the show last night, but he didn't say you was with him.
No, he went fishing by himself because that's what he liked to do. But when I went there to see him after, when he wasn't, when he got let go, I actually went to see him, and we hung out for a few days together. And I spent some time with him. I don't know who else did, but I know I was with him right after that happened to him.
Okay.
And so, and then we chatted, and what I remember, and not that I remember directly, but Eric explained to me he would bounce some stuff off me, what was going on in the company, and why it happened. Because of course, if it happened to any of you guys, the friends that we are, I would say, hey, whatever happened to? Why did it happen? That would be the question I would ask you, Stevie or Ernest. Right. why'd you stop doing karate? Or why'd you stop doing podcasts? That would be a normal question, and I think I'm close enough to you guys, so I could ask that question on a personal basis.
You can ask Ernest. I don't know if you close enough to ask me that.
But anyway, and what I understood, what he was explaining to me was that Eric understood, and I think he even mentioned it. Writing was on the wall when a merger came.
Right.
Corporately, they decided the wrestling was lowbrow. I don't, but he was, they knew they was a rating getter, right? Prior to 99, we started to lose the deal, but certainly 83 weeks before that, we even beat Vince. So it was bringing in revenue. But I remember Eric telling me back then that they would, in essence, cook the book, because they can, that they would take the revenue that came into WCW and they would allocate it to other part of Turner Sports.
He talked about that. He talked about that on the show last night.
Who are they?
The corporate who runs because WCW was a division of Turner Sports.
Yeah,
and they could take the books. Some of the expenses from other division was brought into WCW book, although it wasn't their expense, but they could do that to make WCW bottom line look like they weren't making money, or for that matter, losing money.
Right.
So that gives them an ammunition. When I said them, the corporate ammunition.
It's being very deceptive.
Right.
To people.
But the point is, corporately, they decided that wrestling was not in the image of TNT, Turner Network. They didn't want it.
But he talked about that from the beginning of this documentary.
Yeah. Well, that's really the
mindset. That mindset was going on way before he ever became executive producer.
Yeah.
He was fighting uphill. He was fighting uphill the whole way because the people above him didn't want it to be there anyway.
I don't think Eric even realized it.
It's kind of hard to realize it if you're not a real wrestling guy and never been in this position before. You really don't know how it works.
Yeah. I mean, he knew his book.
Hold on, son. Hold on, sir. I think Stevie Ray is on to something. So you saying this was a new thing for Eric Bischoff too, right?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you what do you mean about that?
Kat, let me explain this to you. Eric is coming from AWA. That's a wrestling company.
Yeah.
That's his own inside entity. Okay, you get to WCW, which is a part of a conglomerate. If you see what I'm saying, it's a part of a whole media empire. So what you learned over there with AWA and them, it really don't apply over here.
Right.
Wow. Because you ain't got to report to nobody but Vern Gagne and Greg Gagne. They the owners.
So do you think it was some of the mistakes that were made by Eric Bischoff being new to the company? Do you think that also had a part of bringing down WCW?
Let me tell you this, Kat, from the outside looking in, from our perspective as performers, you and I, and Sonny, your personality, if you will. You and I see things from a totally different perspective because we are performers on the show. Now, Eric Bischoff, this is what I was chronicling last night on my show with my two guests from Free the Hard Way, who are kind of like Ray. You got to realize something. You're not a wrestling guy. You're a corporate guy. You're from the sales department, like that video game that he sold with Sonny, that went defunct as soon as it went out there, like that. Okay?
Hey, Steven, calm down.
Straight shooting. Straight shooter.
Don't keep attacking my guest now.
No. I'm just saying, but he sold that. He sold that gimmick to Vern Gagne, for Vern Gagne to help. Okay.
Oh, Oh yeah, yes,
yeah.
Did.
Okay, he comes into WWE. He's selling commercials, this, that, and the other, being an announcer and things of that nature. But now you become executive producer of a wrestling show with nothing but wrestling mentalities around. And this is where I spoke up for Eric Bischoff. You didn't realize the kind of sharks that you actually playing with right now. You don't realize it because you're not from the wrestling world. These people don't fucking play. These people are sharks in the water and they're ready to get what they can get because of your lack of knowledge of how professional wrestlers really are. Eric had good intentions, but he was surrounded by sharks. And I'll get into that later.
And when you said surrounded, I mean really surrounded, not just by the corporate, but even the people that he was working closely with.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Me, myself, I sit back and I watch things. I watch so many people with their hand around Eric back, shoulder, yeah, Eric, yeah, we could do this, do that. As soon as he turned, they try to stab him in the back. So Eric had a heavy load of stuff to carry in that business.
Cat, what I'm saying is this. That part he didn't learn from Vern Gagne. Let me put it in this aspect. Let me put it in this aspect. Last night I made an analogy, and I was saying, why do generals never get close to the soldiers? Why do Hall of Fame head coaches like Don Shula, Tom Landry, Bill Belichick never get close to the players? Why?
They don't want their vision impaired by the relationship that they.
Now you see exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you gotta leave. You gotta have a 10,000 foot view.
I like you, Ray. You making money for me. I'm gonna give you a push. You're a hell of a talent. But Ray, I can't come eat at your house with you. You dig?
Right.
And I don't want you at my house. Now I might meet you out and eat with you, to talk a little business. But I have to keep you at bay. It ain't personal because it's business. All the successful coaches in the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, they never get really close to their players. You ever notice that?
Hey, I'm going to tell you who do. He act like he does. Is that Dallas Cowboy owner. He act like he's so close to the player.
And how far have they gone? How far have they gone, Cat?
They got cut. He let them go when it's time to let them go.
No. I'm saying as far as success of the team.
Oh yeah, they ain't been to the Super. They haven't won the Super Bowl in a while.
Exactly.
In a while, but they got 5 of them. So
see, you a fan. You gonna look at what they have, not what they try.
They got 5. Hold on a second. Let me address Ray.
They ain't won in a while.
They got 5 of them, Ray. They got 5 of them with 2 coaches, right?
Correct.
Jimmy Johnson, and Tom Landry, right?
Tom Landry, correct.
Both of them are no nonsense coaches, and they don't get close to their players.
Correct.
Okay, so when you bring up 5 of them, the formula ain't working no more.
No, it don't.
Because if you think you can go over your coach's head, can you imagine somebody going over Tom Landry's head and want to talk to Tex Schramm or Gil Bryant? Or going over Jimmy Johnson's head and want to talk to Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
You cut the next day.
Correct. Don't care who
you cut the next day.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we need.
So when I bring that analogy up as it pertains, you think Eisenhower got close to his soldiers when he getting ready to do the D-Day invasion? And I know half of y'all gonna die.
Yeah, that's right.
I know half of y'all gonna die on the beaches of Normandy. You think Caesar got close to his soldiers in the Roman Empire when we conquered everything?
So you basically saying that Eric got way too close with the talent.
Because he's not from the wrestling business and the mentality of how wrestlers really are. Wrestlers are sharks.
He fell in love with the lifestyle. With the lifestyle of a wrestler.
And that's when you start to lose perspective of what the business side is like.
Do you think Russo did the same thing? Do you think he
Russo
got too close?
Russo wasn't running nothing. He was just a writer.
Right. But they brought him in as kind of the head guy on
Well,
TV.
you got to realize the Titanic had already hit the iceberg, bro.
He was,
Right.
and when he came in, Ray, he wasn't the head guy. We had Bush, right?
Right.
Bush took over Eric's place. Bush,
Exactly.
who wasn't
What
on
a lot of
TV.
guys, excuse me, gentlemen, there's a point, perspective I want to tell you. And Stevie Ray is talking about the talent side, the production side, the product we were putting it out there. The part of the demise of WCW. I think because the product and rating was going downhill, I think just made it that much easier for the company to say, let's get rid of this thing. This thing's not even making us money no more.
Right.
But the writing was already on the wall way before that to get rid of WCW. But let me make this point to you. When Eric got ousted, I think one of the mistakes Eric made, I think he even mentioned it on a program, that he was Ted Turner guy.
Right.
Ted Turner loved him. But as Ted started to lose part of his share of the company, lost his power, that's when, Ted Turner's the one who gave him the Nitro.
Right.
And Ted no longer had that power. And Eric, I think, miscalculated that. And when Diana Myers and Bill Bush and some of the VP got together, start talking, talking behind his back.
Whoa, hold up, wait a minute, Sonny.
Went to cooperate. Let me finish what I'm telling you. Let me finish what I'm telling you. Went to the cooperate and says, hey, Eric's out of control. We need to let him go home. And that's when Dr. Schuler called him in and said, hey, Eric, you need to go home.
Hey, but let me ask you this, Sonny. You called a name that I didn't know had any involvement in Eric getting replaced. You called Diane Myers. I thought that was like Eric's right hand.
No. She was a corporate attorney, and she hated y'all. She hated wrestlers. Anybody will tell you that. She didn't like the contract. She went to got a degree. She got assigned to WCW as in-house attorney. And she didn't like that. She didn't want to write these contracts to these guys who was bouncing at the strip club last week, and all of a sudden they're making $250, $350, $450, and she's making what? Corporately $1.50, and she hated that. And I can't tell you some of the words she used to call you all.
I heard that.
Right. Well, I think the thing that surprised me most about the episode last night is when they called Eric in the first time and said they had done a forensic audit because they thought he was actually getting kickbacks from overpaying.
What do you think that came
Ray, I heard that. Ray, I heard that way back in the day. But all you got to do is put the tea leaves together.
What do you think that came from? What do you think that?
All you got to do is put tea leaves together.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something too. According to that, the only thing I saw with Eric, the only thing Eric did and he was doing, he was paying a lot of guys good money. Everybody was getting paid. And you guys know that from what I understand.
Right.
With Eric being the boss, he could say, okay, let's approve this contract. I'm gonna send this to Diane and let her write it up. But a lot of people were getting paid, man. And I think once they got the money, then the work wasn't there. The production.
But you gotta realize this also. It's just like the circus. If you ever been to the circus, the clowns that come around and do their job don't make the kind of money the guys on the high wire do, because I could die doing this.
Yeah.
But we are part of the same show.
Correct.
It's levels to money in pro wrestling. It's levels to it. If you're a main eventer, semi-main eventer, always in the mix, you should get paid more than guys that are not.
Yeah, I agree.
And Eric was doing that though, right? Wasn't Eric?
But hold on. No, I'm just addressing what you just brought up. You brought up guys getting paid, but you didn't bring up where they were on the show.
Yeah.
in any job, I don't care what your job is, there's an entry level. Cat, I told this story last week, and I ain't never even told it to you. And you and I done talked about everything under the sun all over this goddamn world. Cat, when I first came into WCW, do you know how much money I made?
I do not.
Take a wild guess.
Now, I'm gonna just say 50 or 80.
Take a wild guess. I don't care what it is. Take a wild guess.
50,000.
I was making $800 a week.
Wow.
And I was.
Did he go away?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I'm right here.
Okay, there you
right
are.
Here.
We got you. We got you back now.
I was making $800 a week, working every goddamn night. Now, who would be more apt to be pissed off about contracts than me? But I never was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What year did you go in?
I ain't never bitched about it because I'm not a bitcher, and I'm cut from another cloth when it comes to shit like that. Because I always look at the bigger picture. I'm never envy of anybody, and I ain't gonna never put nobody down because I ain't built like that. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about contracts, certain people earned their money, certain people didn't.
That's exactly right.
Well, that's what they were saying, was there was people that hadn't even been on TV in months that were making millions of dollars, and you never saw them.
I don't think they were making millions, but they was probably making good contracts.
Me either, Ray. There was wrestlers who was on a contract that probably would come in, and maybe down there, what was that, Florida? We would have shows down there, and those guys would come in and do a couple of spots, but they was on the contract for yearly contract. So they could go somewhere else.
What I'm saying is you can see where the allegations can come from, whether they be true or not true, that certain people are getting a certain amount of money, and then people are saying Eric Bischoff must be getting a kickback from it because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
I'm not saying the allegations are true, but you can see where people can come to that conclusion.
Right.
Yeah,
why would you give away all this money?
This is what I know for a fact. That were people on the table.
One thing to make allegation, but take that allegation or idea and get together with a bunch of vice presidents together. Good, listen, if you know
No. Sonny, I'm not disputing that.
No.
What I'm saying is when you put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
If you look at what I just chronicled as to what happened with my brother and I, and then you look at 2-3 years later how the whole script done changed.
Yeah.
And I'm out here busting my fucking ass every goddamn night, 280 to 300 days a year. Then I got a bump to $1,200 a week. So I'm not talking disgruntling. I'm just saying, what the fuck was the money when I was out here getting over?
What year did you go in?
So what year did you go in? How you can leave yourself open, like Eric can leave yourself open to those kind of allegations from the sharks that are around you.
Yeah.
You're leaving yourself open for that.
Yeah.
And people can look at that and go, well, why is he giving all these contracts to guys that don't even work? Or, they just got out to wrestling school and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't, but I'm just saying people that, everybody that's got a good position, somebody wants your spot, Sonny, even in the wrestling business.
No, you also got to remember who knew all those numbers. Right.
I know. I'm like I said, I'm not disputing that.
Right.
I'm not making a case to defend Eric Bischoff. I'm saying don't put yourself in that position because in this world of business where everybody wants your position.
Well, you mentioned that earlier.
You just gave them carte blanche to do that.
And you also have to remember this. Let me add this, that you got to remember how Eric came in. Most of us know already, but
I do.
He was a third string announcer.
You were there already.
He was third string announcer that leapfrog bunch of people to become executive vice president.
Right.
Tony
Right.
Schiavone, David.
Yeah, but I chronicled that. That is why I say Eric is not a wrestling guy.
Yeah.
He's a salesman.
In essence, he's the kind of guy that the people around him despise because he's one of them.
Well,
and then he becomes a wrestling guy. Not saying that he didn't know what he was doing, but he's not from the corporate guys. So the corporate guys already know, baby. I wanted that.
Hang around like him. You hang around it long enough.
I know that for a fact.
What was that?
A lot of VP, they didn't like him.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point. Yeah, I'm not talking about who like. I've been around just like you, Sonny. I've been around business people, political figures, sports figures, business people, billionaire mother. I mean, people with a lot of money. I don't know billions, but they have their own jet. I've been around these fucking people. Right. And I know how they think. It's about getting your fucking bag, and they don't give a shit about who they take it from.
Yeah.
In that corporate world, professional wrestling is taking up 5 live hours a week. How many I Love Lucy's can we have in that fucking section? And I put this shit out there. And it don't cost as much.
Right.
How many sitcoms can I produce on TNT that can get minimal ratings and we can make money and draw sponsorship? How many? Nobody thinks about that part.
From the people that didn't want to do it.
And I want this pro wrestling out of here.
Yeah.
We can go talk to Ted and put this kind of shit on. What about that, Sonny?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
It was more advertising friendly is what you're saying, Stevie.
Exactly.
More advertising for families and whatnot. My question to you is, when you came in, was Jim Hurd and Cowboy Bill Watts, were they running the show?
No, Watts wasn't there. Hurd, I think, was still there, but Watts wasn't there.
Who was the guy that who did you report to? Who was your boss when you?
Ole Anderson and Dusty Rhodes.
Is that why you feel like you were underpaid?
No, I mean, it ain't about what excuse my language. It ain't about what I felt like. That's how the wrestling business worked. I wasn't disgruntled. You've taken what I'm saying and you didn't understand exactly what I was saying.
Well, I'm with you.
Let me put it. No, you didn't, brother. With all due respect, you heard what I said, but you took it the wrong way. I'm not complaining about what I got paid. I was bringing that up to let the cat know how it was when I came up, and that's how the wrestling business was. It wasn't just me.
Well, I use that term, underpaid. That's how I felt. That's not what you said. I agree with you.
Exactly. Okay. What I'm saying is, when you came into wrestling business, and I don't care where it was in the continental United States of America, you had to earn your stripes.
And you feel like, and I know you did.
They wanted to know. I already knew this. Right. I'm just bringing up the salary to circumvent a point as to what Sonny and Kat was talking about, as the kind of money Eric Bischoff was giving to people that hadn't done anything.
Right. Yeah. You just entry level guys making these 150 to 250 million.
No, Ray. They wasn't entry level. Some of them were stars that were just under contract, a little contract, just to have their names and their likeness under WCW. Okay. You know, you had the Boogeyman, you had a lot of guys, big name guys, they weren't working, but they were getting paid. And I think I wanted to know sometime, like, how do they tell how much they should pay someone when he's not on TV? Then you got somebody on TV and they getting paid less than the guy sitting at home.
But this is the thing, Kat.
What scale did they use?
This is why I brought up a coaching analogy, and this is why I brought up a general in the Army analogy. I brought those analogies up to say this: if you ain't planning on using nobody, brother, you don't give them carte blanche. Okay, I'll give you an example. The quarterback in football is the highest paid position on every level of which player personnel and all the negotiations that goes on with the union comes up with a criteria for every position. You see what I'm saying? Brock Purdy played in the Super Bowl last year. Brock Purdy got Rookie of the Year his first year. Brock Purdy don't even make $1 million a year.
Correct.
And why is that? Because there's a criteria that's out there for people that was He was the last guy drafted. He was the last guy, yes, at that position. Now you see what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
So, but this is the deal. If he had came in like a star, like I say, Randy Savage coming from WWE or Hulk Hogan coming from WWE, those guys got bargaining power.
Right.
So a quarterback with a resume like a Kirk Cousins that people always talk about, oh man, he ain't won but 2 playoff games, this, that, and the other. What does my resume say? I complete over 70% of my passes and I'm a 75% winning percentage. You see what the resume says?
Why he gets that money.
Difference. So how many people have won a Super Bowl but they never did shit else? Your resume ain't the same. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to gauging money. You ain't going into WWE making $250,000 and you just came out of the wrestling school.
No, sir.
So you're going to be on a probational period. First of all, they got a probational period.
So this is what I'm hearing, Stevie.
Okay.
You think it was office related that brought things, really start pushing things down in WCW. And when I said office, professional office, it's the way that wrestling was connected to Eric Bischoff. And Eric Bischoff was connected to the higher up. But when Eric got really, to Ted Turner. So when Eric got close to some of the players, some of the wrestlers, that kind of humanized him a little bit to where some of the decisions he was making kind of separated people.
Exactly.
You know, he wasn't doing it because he felt that way. That was just the way he was doing business.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, Cat.
And some of the boys took advantage
I'm not
of
trying to discount him or anything like that. I'm not trying to say anything demonic toward him. What I'm saying is Eric came in, the right guy for the right job with the wrong people.
Yeah.
The Hogan thing worked for a second, but you don't give him carte blanche to do what he wants to do. You have to make a person respect you for my authority. I'm going to pay you, but you're not going to have control over what the fuck goes on this show. You're not going to bring your buddies in and I got to fucking pay them too.
And now let me tell you this.
You know what I'm saying?
One thing I noticed when I came in, and see, I can't speak about the business side of it, Stevie, because, you know, I was new to the business. I was new to wrestling. I was trying to learn my way inside the group of wrestlers. But what I started to see, when Eric was running things around there, he ran things good. He ran things like with an iron fist. He did things the right way. I remember somebody went in their office and was going to call themselves, that they were going to demand a pay raise in their contract or they're leaving. They said Eric looked at them and said, bye-bye.
Well, you know, you got plenty of incidents like that. But I'm talking about the overall perspective of the whole show.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. It's no way in hell. And I used to talk to guys about this back in the day. And anybody will tell you that. Not talking about it in a bad way, this, that, and the other. I just don't understand certain things because they don't make sense. You don't let Hulk Hogan, and when I talk about these guys, I'm not talking about them, you know, with ill will. But you don't let Hulk Hogan do a main event with his buddy just because that's my friend. Because now Hogan is thinking about him and his buddy. He's not thinking about the betterment of a show.
Who is his friend? His buddy?
Beefcake.
Do you really think I cared about Beefcake?
I'm not going to get into that. I'm trying to make a point right now.
Okay, well, I just want you to know.
No, you asked me a question and I told you.
I know he was Hogan boy, but do you think I gave, or you know what about Beefcake?
Okay, Cat, you getting on a whole nother story. You getting on a whole nother.
You know that story gets me hot there. You know what happened.
Okay, that's why I didn't say his name. You the one.
All right.
You the one pulled the name out of me. I didn't.
Okay, all right.
Big Ray, did I say a name?
You didn't say the name.
Let me say this for a second, okay?
Go ahead.
There was a time. This is an honest goodness truth. I don't think I don't know how many people we even talked about it.
Sonny, you don't know the truth.
Hey, let me finish. I'm your guest. Let me put my word out there, okay?
You don't know the truth.
So here's what happened.
You don't know the truth.
Go shine your head or something. Here's what happened. We were in LA. Hulk says, get Cat and you and Bret Hart, and I think Beefcake was on the plane, on Hulk's jet, and says, you know, come on the plane with us because I have an idea.
Brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a brother there. And I said, oh shit, I get to ride in Hulk's plane. I'm on. I'm the first one on the plane.
They had something.
And you know what?
You know
what Ernest did?
What's that?
Ernest says, I don't think he said brother, but he says, brother, that's not going to work for me. He didn't come on a plane.
It's not going to work for me, brother.
You know what Hulk wanted to talk about? Hulk actually wanted to do an angle with Cat.
Okay. Let me answer
that, Stevie.
I'm
glad you brought that up. And the only reason I did not know Hogan like that. Hogan, I did not work for Hogan. I worked for Eric Bischoff and the people that was in charge.
But he has creative control.
Listen, this is how I thought.
Now you see what I'm talking about, Sonny.
Yeah. This is how I thought things worked. I thought things worked like Eric.
They work like that in outlaw shows.
Yeah, hand it down to us, and then they tell me what they wanted to do. I don't need to ride on Hogan flight. I didn't think I needed to fly with Hogan and those guys to come up with something. Let them come up with it, and then I get it from the people in control. That's usually how you work, right?
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Cat.
This is hold on, Sonny. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Hogan don't get to make his own decisions as the show goes. That's for him. And by the mere fact that he's talking about himself using other people to get himself over, it's not conducive to getting the show over.
But you have to agree.
No, I don't.
No, you have to agree to what I'm about to say. What Hawk was or is, and what Cat was on a lineup, it would have boosted Cat's.
It would have helped. It would have definitely helped get Cat.
That may be true.
Hold on. Let me answer this, Sonny. Where Cat was and Hogan, you got your hands down here. Look, I was a little closer there. I was over.
You was way down there.
Hey,
first of all,
hold up, Sonny, hold up.
Get me a hot dog.
Ray, shut your fat mouth. Hey, Sonny.
Hey, man, don't talk about Ray like that.
Man, he's crazy. He really doesn't care 300 miles away.
This is personal. When you said Hogan, I was getting over. I was over. That's why Hogan wanted to work with me.
Absolutely, that's correct.
But see, this is what I did without having to tell people. Instead of getting on that flight, talking to Hogan about something maybe he wanted to do, I was a thinker. I know that he gonna get me on that flight and talk this stuff into me and put together something. I went to Eric. You know what Eric said? Eric said, let's not do that right now because what I think might happen is you'll win on Monday night, then Hogan will get it back on Thursday. Let's come up with a plan instead of come up with something like that. So I listened to the boss. I listened to Eric.
Let me address Sonny. Sonny, you're my man. We've been doing a podcast together for a few years now.
Yeah.
Let me educate you on something from a wrestling perspective. That is the worst fucking bullshit you could ever do for a major goddamn company. You know why? Where does Ernest Miller, Hogan buries the cat?
Yeah.
You get a pop from it for a week. What does that message send to the dressing room, Ernest? I mean,
answer the
question. Don't answer my question with a question. And since you know so much about professional wrestling and the mindset of a professional wrestler, what message did that send to the dressing room?
I don't know. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Then.
If you don't know, how are you going to expound on something that you don't know?
What I'm saying to you, Okay, I'm a business person. I has been before wrestling.
Business ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now.
No,
I'm talking about the entertainment business.
If somebody higher up and make you a proposition says, Stevie Ray, I have an idea I would like to
that don't work in wrestling. Please, Sonny, don't insult my intelligence right now.
How do you think you're talking?
With all due respect, don't insult my intelligence right now. Because that's not the way it works in pro wrestling.
No, okay, hold on.
If that's the case, you should have been the writer. You should have been the writer and the booker.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Sonny, hold up.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
Hold up, Sonny. Hold up. Listen, let me ask you this, each one of y'all this right here. What put Hogan, when you said higher up, what did that mean in wrestling, as a wrestler, when you said higher up, Sonny?
He was the top guy in a promotion.
But how did he get
the man was creative control?
And when he was running his own shit like he did as a babyface, the ratings didn't go any fucking where.
Nowhere.
Well, that may be so. But here's the point I'm trying to make.
No, that's the truth.
Okay, that may be true. But what I'm saying, I don't know the rating. I don't have the rating chart here. But the point I'm making to you, okay, is if a star of your company, a headliner of your company, wanted to talk to Ernest Miller, why would you not talk to him?
Because, Sonny, you're not looking at the big picture. You're looking at Ernest and you're looking at Hogan. You're not looking at the show. You see the movie Staying Alive with John Travolta?
No.
You ever see that movie? Did you ever see that movie?
I didn't say to do whatever it was going to be.
Oh, and I'm telling you why.
What I'm saying is, why would you not listen to the proposal? Why would you?
First of all, the first mistake was giving the man creative control. That was the first mistake.
Hold on, Stephen.
That's the only reason why he came.
Hold on. Let me answer Sonny. What you said? Why would I not listen to him?
I ain't say don't listen.
Proposal. I said Sonny said that. He said, why would I not listen to Hogan? Because I had Eric Bischoff, who was Hogan's boss. If I wanted to hear something, I didn't want to waste my time. Because if I heard Hogan out, it was going to be Hogan's story. At the end of the day, it was going to be something to get Hogan over. If I talked to Eric Bischoff, who I thought was in control, Eric would give me a better layout of the whole thing. And I did. And Eric Bischoff said, we don't want to win the title one day on Monday, then lose it on Thursday, which what Hogan was intended.
But you know that was not, that none of this was proposed. All he wanted to do was talk to you on your thought of doing a program with him.
How you know what Hogan was thinking in his head?
Sonny, I'm trying to let you know, Sonny.
Hey,
that is the work. First of all,
did you go on the plane? No, you didn't. Hogan told me he wanted to do a program with you.
Let me bring this back up.
Sonny,
this is what I was talking about.
When Hogan was telling you this story, was he whispering in your ear on this plane?
I don't think Eric was on the plane, no.
No, Eric wasn't on the plane. They talked every night. Hogan and Eric were boys. So that's all I'm saying, Sonny.
Which is the first. That is what I'm talking about, Cat. That is the first mistake. The first mistake Eric made. Bringing in Hogan was a great idea. Bringing him with creative control was the worst thing you can do to a wrestling company. Because now you start dissension within the company. You start dissension within the guys. Believe me, guys, I know what the fuck I'm talking about because I had this conversation with a lot of people that's not going to say it on the podcast.
Stephen, listen to this. Listen to this. When Hogan made that proposal to me and we talked about it, he wanted to lose the belt to me. Sonny, you didn't even know this. Guess who I talked to? I talked to someone that was close to me that would tell me exactly how things were working, and that was Stevie Ray. And Stevie Ray even said, how many times you think they're going to turn down Hogan? If Hogan wanted to do something, he's going to do it. Hogan did not want, he said he wanted to do that, but he never did it. So me riding on a plane, if somebody wanted to do something, I had my own ticket. I could fly myself there. So I didn't need to go with Hogan and kiss ass on the plane and with like you did, Sonny. You jumped in Hogan lap when Hogan wanted to
you can call it a kiss ass, Ernest, but let me tell you something. I was privileged to fly on his plane, and I had fun. I can say I flew on. He invited
and
me
he drink, and
plane.
he can drink all the beer he wants all night long. That's what he wanted to do. But hold on a second, Sonny. I was bringing up a point before you brought up the Ernest Miller thing, which really circumvents my point.
You shouldn't have tagged me on my own show, Sonny. That was terrible.
That is why I was bringing up Eric Bischoff put himself in a precarious position because I done hired this guy. I done gave him qualified immunity. I done sold him to Ted Turner. I done got him airplanes and all this other shit that he can do. In essence, Hogan is running the show from a top position. You don't do that. That is why I brought up the coaching analogy. That is why I brought up the general. I know Eric had best interests at heart, but at the end, it never plays out.
No,
it never plays out in the end.
If you think
so
about
what I'm saying, for you to let Hulk Hogan come to you and say, I want to do something with Ernest Miller, that's one thing. But for you to come with, I want to do a main event in a major pay-per-view where you want people to pay money and get a show over and do the best we can do for everybody, and you want to do it with your buddy who can't even keep his own name in a major pay-per-view. If you don't see nothing wrong with that, dog, you're too old for me to help you.
Yeah, it's just a waste of time and money. But
it's a waste of time and money because now you don't give a fuck about everybody that's busting their fucking ass. You got to remember the hard work that everybody put into this show. Right. I ain't talking about the talent. I'm talking about everybody else that's got to pay their families also.
Right. Well, here's the question I got.
That got to put all this shit up every day. The camera guys that's on the road like crazy from baseball, basketball, and wrestling. And we doing shit like this. And don't nobody say nothing about it. God damn it, I got a problem with that, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, Sonny, you was a businessman in the business. I give you that. But you wasn't no wrestler.
No, I agree.
You was a businessman. Everything you thought business. But that was a different way to think when you in this business, man. You
right.
It is.
But in his eyes,
you got to think about your life. You got to think a whole bunch. You working with people in the ring. You working with all kind of personalities. You know, it's certain things you got to look out for. But the most important thing you got to look out for in the position that I was in was myself.
Right. So in his eyes, he thought he was helping you out.
Huh?
What were you saying, Ray?
In his eyes, Cat, he thought he was helping you out because you had the top guy wanting to work an angle with you.
Hey, Big Ray, if I slap your face and everybody say, Ernest, don't do that, I'm not going to do it again. They ain't helping you out. They just don't want me to go to jail.
Big Ray, with all intents and purposes, what Sonny is talking about and what you just said, it's a time and a place for all of that.
I agree.
That does not help the show. Like I said, did you see John Travolta Staying Alive?
Of course, yeah, of course.
Okay, what did the director of the play tell him after the first scene? He said, it's not about you, Monero. It's about the show. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. That's right. When he was trying to take over the whole dance thing.
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Why do you think he told him that? Because this is more than you. You get it? That's pro wrestling.
Well, that was my question.
I understand what Stevie Ray is saying. I mean, you're correct. Giving somebody creative control, you can't give a star.
You can't do it, son. That was a mistake.
Leads into my next question.
No, I agree with you. But in the same breath, you said, and I also agree with you there, the Hulk jump-started WCW, without a doubt.
I disagree.
Me too.
Well, I certainly think he did.
Well, this is where we're going to go with it. So if you think Hogan jump started, all right. Here's the question I got. The original plan for the New World Order was Sting to be the third man,
exactly.
And then the ninth inning, brother called Eric and said, "Hey, man, I think I want to do it." So because
he was thinking about himself.
Correct. That's where I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. So a lot of selfish decisions went into this whole thing. Do you guys think, now we're of course looking at it through a completely different lens. Had Sting been the third member, do you feel like the NWO would have been as popular as it became without Hogan
something,
being.
Ray? You know that something, Ray? I don't know, but I do know this: as big a babyface as Sting was, and Hulk Hogan's popularity, in all actuality, and this is why I disagree with Sonny. His popularity was on a decline. That's why Vince.
It was. That's why he wanted to do it. He was being booed. The yellow and red wasn't getting over.
And that's what I'm saying. When Sonny said he jump-started, he didn't. That group of people, those fans that we had then, he was never accepted as a babyface. Soon as he comes in, he beats
Ric Flair for the belt.
Listen, no matter who joined NWO, NWO did not bring down WCW.
No. We're not talking about NWO. We're not talking about NWO. We was talking about
that 83 weeks.
Yeah,
we was talking about Hogan.
So
what I'm talking about ain't got nothing to do with the NWO.
Are one of you guys trying to insinuate that Hogan brought the show down? Sonny, I think I heard that from you.
No. Sonny said that Hogan jump-started in WCW. He didn't. The NWO jump-started WCW.
Correct. And that's my question was, do you feel like it would have jump-started it if Sting would have been the third man? And Hogan would have come out.
Ray, what you got to realize, anything different at that time in professional wrestling would have blew up like a mother. I don't know if it would have been as good. I don't know. But it still would have blew up because you're talking about an iconic babyface turning into a heel to go with two WWE guys.
Outside. Yeah, two outsiders.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But because honestly, I saw it coming as a fan. When he was walking down the ramp, I just had that feeling that he was going to do something in swerve. I felt the swerve coming.
You're 100% right on that, but is that what we're talking about?
No.
But had Sting done it in that match, would have turned on Luger and Savage and went with him. That would have completely blew me away.
You wouldn't have never seen that coming, Ray.
That's right. That would have blown me away.
That would have blew you away. I agree with you 100%, Ray.
You guys,
you can't be talking about Ray like you've been talking about him because he really knows his shit.
Yeah, I know it, but the thing is, we're talking about what brought WCW down. I want to know.
This is what the catalyst to get us to that part.
Hold on, Big Ray. Let me ask you one at a time. Sonny, who do you think brought down WCW? Give me that in a few words.
I think we went
corporately. It was on a demise. They wanted, like I told you before, corporately they wanted to get rid of lowbrow wrestling off Turner Network. The writing was on the wall, and the only thing he helped was when the rating took the dive in '99. Okay.
That's all I want to. Hey, that's all I want to. You said Turner. You said Turner there. How about you, Big Ray? I mean, Stevie. Who do you think brought it down?
Let me put it in this aspect, man. I think so many people are overlooking the obvious. Everything that happened with WCW went to a stratospheric level because of everything that went down. And by the mere fact that they couldn't sustain it because nobody had the visual outlook from an entertainment standpoint to keep things going, like when the NWO happened, and not how to base things around that on the show to keep things fresh and happening.
So you think
hold on, let me tell you. Then you go and beat Vince because of something cool and something today. You beat him for 83 weeks. That was the worst thing that ever could have happened to you.
Whoa. Big Steven, did you and Harry have some heat?
No. What I'm saying is this. You took this to a level that you couldn't sustain.
You couldn't control. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it
got to a level that you could not.
It turns into Frankenstein monster because you got to realize
it's too big.
People was watching WCW and enjoying WCW way before the NWO.
Yeah.
Way before the NWO.
Yeah.
Okay, we wasn't beating Vince. Okay, but we don't have those Vince McMahon mindset. This man is a genius when it comes to that. But we still gave a quality product that people love around this nation and around the world.
Steven, that's a great way to look at this. You know, it's like Eric was doing good on where they was at. But when he pushed for the stars and he got up there, he was in outer space. He lost control.
But once you get in outer space, brother, once you go to the stratosphere, ain't no coming back. You don't come back to Palookaville. You don't come back to Palookaville after you've been the heavyweight champion of the world.
So I see what you're saying. So maybe that was not WCW, but maybe that what brought Eric back down to earth.
But you got to realize something. You got to realize something. When you do that, let's say you the coach of a basketball team or a football team, and you keep making the right decisions to keep them relevant, and keep them viable, and keep them winning, and you win 4 championships in 5 or 6 years and stuff like that, and you keep that thing going. What do you have to do to keep it going? You don't rest on your laurels, because guys are going to get older and they're going to get hurt. You play ball, you know how this shit works. And you got to keep this system going, right?
You got to keep
this system going. You don't start hanging out with the boys.
Yeah.
You don't start drinking with the boys. You go in that lab and you get your head going and hire the right people to help you keep this machine moving, bro.
Hey, that's one thing that WWE did better.
Steve, I hear you out. You're so smart. I hear you out. But Sonny, I mean, you got to say something, because you Eric Bischoff's right-hand man.
And I ain't talking about Eric. I'm just talking about being ahead of something. I ain't talking about him personally.
Eric used to like to have drinks with the guys. He was really a guy's kind of guy. I mean, what do you think about that, son? Do you think he let himself down and put himself amongst the workers?
I think he'll even acknowledge that he made those mistakes. You know, even if it was true or not, perception it was, because we were all there. Well, we were all
Sonny
there.
was in on it too. Sonny was in on it too, Cat. He was hanging out too.
I know.
He was getting that kickback. He was getting the kickback.
I got to admit, so was I. But I'm gonna tell you something though. I knew it was wrong, and I'm gonna snitch. People call me my co-host. I'm a rat. I'm gonna snitch. I'm gonna snitch on somebody, and y'all gonna get mad, but it's my damn show. I'm gonna snitch. I knew something was different when I saw Hogan and the way Eric used to act around each other. When they were with each other, it was like they were best friends. Oh, right. Eric got me, I got Eric got this. But one day I heard Hogan speaking to someone, and he called Eric, ATM. And I was like, that wasn't very nice. Exactly. We know what ATM meant, right, Sonny?
Yeah, we know.
We know what
Sonny
he meant
knows.
by that. And I was like, wait a minute, this is his friend. This is something. I mean, maybe I took it wrong. Maybe I wouldn't say that about you, Stevie. I wouldn't say that about you, Sonny. I wouldn't say if you was my boss, and you were helping me contract, working through these contracts and making money, and we were making money together, I would never use a name like ATM, like it's just free money.
But that's what I'm talking about, man. A wrestling mentality. We're wrestlers, you and I, Cat. We're wrestlers. But at the end of the day, I don't care how cool certain people are with you. In this business, a wrestler is like a leopard, brother. He ain't gonna change his spots. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Why do you think Jesse Ventura to this day is not cool with Hulk Hogan? And I'm cool with Hulk Hogan. You ain't never heard me say nothing bad about Hulk.
Hey, let me go back on record. I like Hogan. I really appreciated Hogan talking to me about maybe
he was an intricate part of me and my brother getting the push. I ain't never gonna say nothing about him. But he's still a pro wrestler and gonna put himself first. That's how it is in this business, man.
When I got in that business, Eric said, it's 2 kinds of people in this business, Cat. He said, givers and takers. They one or the other. And let me tell you, it's more takers than they all give. Sonny, right now, I want you to do me a favor, son, because I hate looking at you with those dog shades on. I want to see your beady little eyes when I'm talking to you right now. So take those damn shades off.
Those is glasses. Those is glasses. You can't see without them.
From a fan's perspective, looking back at WCW, we felt cheated with the finger poke of doom We felt cheated with the cattle prod to Goldberg to take him out. And we felt cheated when Double J come out and just laid down for Hogan like that. And the common denominator in all of this, to me, Hogan's decision-making process and all of it.
And I can't disagree with Ray. I can't disagree with Ray on that, bro. I can't disagree with
it. First thing Nash did was book himself as beating Goldberg.
Hey, Big Ray, you can't insinuate the first thing Nash did. You wasn't there. You don't know what Nash did first.
Well,
but he did
basically.
Ultimately, he did end up winning the belt, putting himself over. But let's go back to what you said. You said you guys felt cheated, right?
We felt cheated because there was no real finishes in this stuff.
I know why, but at that time in pro wrestling, the way the business was going down, do you think we gave a fuck about what y'all thought?
Well, that's what you should have, because when you started losing ratings.
You shouldn't insult that man like that.
But here's the thing. What I'm trying to tell you is when I used to click during the commercials to go over to WWE and listen to their product, when y'all went to commercials, then I was doing it the exact opposite. When all that bullshit started, I started going to the WWE. And
you could look at our show and tell this is personality motivated, not business.
Right. We knew who was running the show.
You could tell this shit was a big production, but ran like a small territory.
Right.
If not
Hogan's Wrestling Alliance.
If not worse than a small territory, because once a person gets qualified immunity, not qualified, I'm thinking about a cop.
Qualified immunity. I like it.
But creative control.
Right.
The other guys that's coming up on the ladder start to resent it.
Yeah, because they know no matter how much they're getting over in the fans' eyes, if he says, it's not going to work for me, brother.
Exactly.
I'm going to have to hold the strap another month or two.
Whereas to me, you should have started to see a slowly but surely transition of the top guys starting to elevate the underneath guys.
The newer talent. That's what WWE did better than WCW.
Hey, I got a question. I got a question for each one of y'all. What one thing that you remember to you was the start of the downfall of WCW? Was it NWO? Kevin Nash taken? Just give me a benchmark. Ray, let's start with you. What do you think the first thing you noticed when you watched when WCW started going down?
When they cattle prodded Goldberg and tried to turn him heel, to me is where it started. And the finger poke of doom was a couple of weeks after that, or a week after that. It just kind of all culminated together, to me, from a fan's perspective. In the in-ring action, I can't tell you about what went on behind the scenes in the ivory tower and fighting uphill against the powers that be.
We know you speaking as a fan. We want to know what
to me, taking the strap off of Goldberg after he had it that while. I mean, he was 120 whatever in O, and then you do him that way, and then all of a sudden you're trying to turn him heel after he's been Mike Tyson for 2 years, and now you want to turn him into some heel like he don't care about the fans and this and that. It was too premature.
Ray, everything you said.
Hold up, Big Steven. Let's keep it going. We're gonna come to you. And Sonny, what about you, son? I don't know where you was at that time. You could have been home. You could have been there. When did you think like this thing is not gonna last?
Well, timeline wise, it was just before mid-'99 when they took the strap, when Kevin got the book.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the reason, and I wasn't really why they decided to take the strap off or the the record of Goldberg's streak. I think
you do.
When was that?
It's everything that we talked about.
But no, what I'm saying, I don't know what day it was. But
you don't have to remember the day. Just tell us about.
I think that was the beginning of the end. I thought anyway.
Oh, I thought you said you don't know why they did it. Okay.
You know why they did it. You just didn't want to go into the story because Sonny is the businessman. He's a businessman.
But
right now, he's in business.
Being a businessman, I would have kept that streak going.
Yeah.
Being a businessman, if you was a real businessman, Sonny,
yeah,
and you know the ins and outs of how things work when you're giving somebody a push, this, that, and the other, you would have never started the streak.
Well, listen.
You would have, first of all, he's too green.
Hold on.
No, I agree with you on that.
First of all, he's too green.
Okay,
no, I agree with you on that.
Then you got guys guys in there that's got 15 years, 20 years in the business.
Now
you never put a green guy over on top guys.
And you pissed off a lot of people too. A lot of the top guys you pissed off. So what
are they going to do? They're going to get together like a real wolf pack and try to sabotage everything you do.
And that's exactly what they did. Now, Stevie, when did you, I don't know if you was there or where you was at, but when did you watch the show and you knew what was going on? You said, this thing is not going to last longer.
Want me to tell you the honest to God truth?
Yes, sir.
Call Teddy Long and tell him exactly what I used to tell him all the time. Call him. This before he left and went to WWE.
I don't have his phone.
Every time we see each other, you know what I used to tell him? It's just a matter of time.
Oh.
It's just a matter of time. Hey, Big Ray, my screen and your screen them froze. What's the deal on that?
I just ain't moving, baby. I'm just sitting still.
Well, it might look like I'm sitting still. Mine done froze.
No,
we can see you.
I see you moving.
Oh, well, maybe it's just on my end then. It froze on my end.
Sonny, you okay? Can you wave, Sonny? You look like
like
Ray Charles with those dark shades on. But go ahead.
Anyway, from an analytical standpoint, the way I look at wrestling, we had the talent to do so much more with creative minds. That's just like having 22 all-pros on a football team, and you can't get out of the first round of the playoffs or even make the playoffs.
How many egos?
It don't make sense because they don't have the proper coaching.
Right. It all starts with leadership.
Because a real coach can take nobodies
and make them win.
How many people always talk about Mike Tomlin with the Pittsburgh Steelers? When the last time Mike Tomlin had a decent quarterback? Mike Tomlin had a decent quarterback?
Ben Roethlisberger, his second year, but he had Big Ben.
Okay.
That's about it.
When Ben started his demise, the man was still winning. When Ben retired, the man is still winning. With
never
nobody.
Had below 500. Yeah, never had below 500.
Because that's coaching.
Yeah, he's a hell of a coach.
Take mediocre people and make them better. You telling me the talent in WWE is better than the talent in WCW? No fucking way.
No. Not position for position because
it's how they put things together.
Hey, listen,
and make the perception believe it is.
Steve, you're going to like this right here. All you guys like that. I'm going to start with you, Tim Gray, just so you can represent the fans and all the smart marks out there. Give me one name that you can associate with the downfall. Just one name. You ain't got to tell why. Just say a name. It could be good or bad. One name.
Hogan.
How about you? How about you, Sonny?
One name. I think it was Turner Corporate. I said that from the beginning.
He said wrestler.
I said in the wrestling business, when you look at the business and say this thing is not going to last long. Give me one name.
I really don't. I can't name one person.
Man, I'm pissed off. Steve, I'm coming to you with that same question, but I'm going to tell Sonny why I'm pissed off at him. Because he do all that damn talking. He been talking about Vince Russo for 20 years, and now he afraid to come on here.
No, I can't blame that on the Russo.
Can't blame it on Russo, man.
I can't blame it on the Russo. What are you talking about, Cat?
I didn't say
Russo came in when the ship was already sinking.
Okay, then.
And what he did for booking. Let me finish what I'm doing. He may not help because he's booking was certainly different than what we were doing before. But you can't blame that downfall of WCW and Russo's.
I said associated with the downfall. I didn't say he was totally, it was totally his fault. I said associated.
Who do you think carries the most weight, Sonny?
Hold up, Ray. Ray, let me finish this. Sonny, do you want to use a name? Give me that name.
It would be Brad Siegel, because he was Eric's boss.
You're a coward, Sonny. You're a coward.
What you want him to say? What you want him to say?
I want him to say Vince Russo.
What do you want him to say?
You've been talking about Vince Russo for 20 years, and now all of a sudden you got
that wasn't Vince was the demise of WCW.
Absolutely.
Vince was the demise of Sonny Onoo.
And see, that's what I want to hear. Listen, I'm not saying he was totally controlled, but for years, Sonny been saying Vince Russo helped kill the business.
No, I have never said that. You are absolutely putting a word in my mouth. I have never said that.
Sonny, you didn't say that to me on the phone. You said Vince Russo because he wasn't writing for this person. His writing was bad.
I have Ernest. I know who you're getting your facts. I've never said that.
Sonny, you
What was the problem with Vince Russo? What was the problem with Vince Russo? We'll discuss with Stevie Ray. He made a mistake of using race as a reason to fire a bunch of people. That's a matter of public statement. You can look it up. All you have to look up Vince Russo, racist, and all a bunch of shit will come up.
I know it. So that's why I thought you were going to use that.
But that had nothing to do with Vince Russo killing WCW.
You say he did, though.
Because I wasn't there, or the Japanese wasn't there, Mexicans wasn't there. They didn't kill WCW.
Sonny, do me a favor. Hold up. Sonny, do me a favor. Stop yelling at me on my own show. Can you do that?
There's no Stevie Ray was
telling you you're totally wrong.
Sonny, there's no reason you should be yelling at me on my own show, first of all.
Why not?
You need to calm down. You need to calm down.
You yell at Ray wants to slap him all the time.
You need to calm down, Sonny.
Because you're absolutely wrong and you're putting a word in other people's mouth.
Okay, well, let's go.
This is why I don't like to do shit on my song.
Let's go.
No, I'm just saying, man, if you're going to pick a wrestler, when you're going to pick a wrestler, and the reason I say Hogan, like I said, I ain't got nothing against Hogan, it's because Hogan didn't put a gun to anybody's head to get what he got. He got that because it was offered to him. And I can't talk against that because I probably would have done the same thing. But at the end of the day, letting somebody have that kind of structure in the professional wrestling business is unheard of. That's the Tom Cruise type move. That's the Denzel Washington type move. That kind of stuff don't work in professional wrestling. And it starts to spread a seed, and it starts to grow, and it starts to grow, and it starts to grow. And it gets to the point where the people that's behind the scene, that's supposed to be thinking for everything and putting all these angles and stuff together, this, that, and the other, start to get overruled by the power that's been given to this guy. And then that starts to mess with the other top guy. And then what you have is a show that's not even remotely structured to where it comes to. You start the show off with some Mexicans. Oh, the Mexican luchadors, that's never in any kind of involvement with anybody else. So in essence, within itself, that's inherently racist, okay? Then you got the Japanese guys going out and doing what they do. You might put them here, that, and the other. In essence, that's inherently racist. Then you got the top guys calling their own shots and everybody going into business for themselves, which is no good for the business. Then you get the NWO that goes through the roof, and you can't even do that right. Next thing you know, you got 85 motherfuckers in the NWO. Then you got the Mexican NWO. Then you got the red and black, this, that, and the other. And that's all you can think of because you're sitting on your fucking lawyers. Okay?
Steven, can I ask you a question, Steven? Do you and Eric Bischoff have some heat?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I love
That's the second time you asked him that question.
I love Eric Bischoff. What I'm talking about is when Sonny brought up business, being a businessman in this world is one thing. Being a businessman in the wrestling world is another. When wrestlers walk up to each other, we say, I did good business with Cat. That means when first time I worked with Ernest the Cat Miller, little young skinny kid with some karate gi shit on, okay? Let me tell you about this story, Big Ray. Didn't know nothing. I've been trying to help him out, keep him on the straight and narrow so he don't get beat up by other professional wrestlers. That's what I tried to do to him. I tried to take him under my ring, Big Ray. Did he ever tell you that?
No, he took credit for all of it.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about? Big Ray, you don't know how many people I had to. I had the whole Armstrong family gonna beat him up one day. If it wasn't for me, they would have got
Lord.
him. He never told you about that, did he?
He said he loved the Candyman. No, he said that you were his guy, though. He said you kept him.
And then Brutus Beefcake got pissed off at him for fucking up in a match. I had to keep Beefcake off him.
Oh, hell, Ernest.
Did he ever tell you about that? So
Ernest,
when he got in the ring when he was a little young, skinny kid trying to make it in the wrestling business, they put him in a tag match with him and Glacier against me and my brother. I said, you know what? This dude ain't so bad. He kind of cool kid. Let's try to take care of him. So what did me and my brother do? We made him look like $1 million in the middle of the ring. You know what they call that, Ray?
Doing the
in the wrestling world? Things you wouldn't know, they call that doing business.
Yeah, or doing the favor.
You dig? There ain't no favor, it's business.
Right.
It ain't no favor. My business is to make him look good. That's my business. I'm going to do it tonight because he wasn't over.
But you got him
after me and my brother bumped for him and made him look like a wrestling version of Jim Kelly, the people was like, hey, man, this dude ain't so bad. But he didn't know when to stop. He wanted to keep going. So I had to bust him in the back of that big head of his and tell him to calm down. Hey, brother, you gotta calm down.
With the
like a karate tournament you think you at, dog. You know what I'm saying? This is a true story. He ain't gonna tell it. Why you ain't never told Ray this story, Cat?
He said you hit him with the flapjack.
No, I didn't hit him with no slapjack. I hit Sonny, I think, with the slapjack. But
did you really tell him that in the ring?
Yeah.
Stevie Ray, you put him in a corner and told him to calm down?
Sonny, what
tournament you at?
I didn't know that story.
Where you going, bro?
This ain't the Battle of Atlanta, dog. Slow down.
You done got happy. So we had to cut him off, but we had a good match. And then Cat came up after, like, hey, man, I was like, hey, man, that was good. You did it just like we told you to. He did it. But what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is, I'm about business. I'm about wrestling business. What we had in a lot of ways was a carnival because we didn't have the right. You're supposed to get leadership from the boys also. The top guys pass that leadership on down to the guys coming up. But if you don't give a damn about the guys coming up, you're not really leading them. You're teaching them the same bad habits that you done instilled in yourself. So how do you think this big conglomerate is going to go anywhere when the main people that's running everything are looking at everything totally fucking different? How?
I tell you, I was a huge mark for the NWO, especially the Wolfpack version. That was my favorite version of it. You were in the Wolfpack, from memory.
I wasn't in no Wolfpack.
You were.
He was
in the black and white.
He was black and white.
Remember, Kevin? You were actually. You were actually on the show. I was black and white.
I wasn't black and red.
You remember when he came to you and you said, we got to wear these colors now? You were on the show last night. You had
you know what? I've been hit on the head with so many chairs that I can't remember half the shit. But that was just a small little thing right there. I can't remember where that went, but I was more black and white. I was black and white.
But you were in the original. I get that. But you switched when Nash and them switched. You went with red. You went red for a while. You were with those guys just for a hot minute. What I'm saying, when I heard him say, it kind of hurt my heart last night to hear him say, well, you know how Nash is real analytical anyway. He was just like, my paycheck didn't change.
And but
when all that shit was, you know what I'm saying?
Ray,
I didn't like that.
Ray, what I'm talking about. And like I said, when you're talking to a fan like yourself, no disrespect, but most of this shit goes over your head, man, because I tell people this all the time, and no disrespect to you, because a couple of guys that I do the show with last night, they're fans too. And I have to tell them certain things. Brother, if you ain't never worked in this business, if it ain't never paid your car note, your house note, your mortgage, your alimony, you know what I'm saying, your college funds and all this kind of shit, you ain't never been in this business.
Right.
You've been around this business.
Loving it and
This
loving it
business
and
is
watching
so
it's one
complicated.
thing, but being in it is something
Yeah,
completely different.
and like I said, no disrespect to you. I'm just telling you from a professional wrestler's point of view that came up totally different than the way the Cat came up and the way Sonny came up and a lot of other wrestlers. I came up the hard way in this business, man, making nothing to try to get somewhere from 1989 up until the present.
I watched your documentary.
I just look at this stuff different, man. I just do. And like I said, Eric Bischoff was more like Caesar. He didn't know that the Senators, Caesar was running an empire, but he didn't know the Senators.
Brute.
Yeah, he didn't know the Senators and the congressmen were his real enemies.
Conspiring against. That's why he said, "E2, Brute. You as well. You gonna stab me too? We were brothers, and you gonna stab me?
We were brothers.
Right, we were brothers, and now we
are brothers. But today, you got to go.
Yeah, it's out. So, did you feel a certain way when you heard him say that last night? My paycheck didn't change. When he said my paycheck didn't change.
No, because like I say, I'm in the business. I don't look at Kevin Nash like I'm a fan would look at him.
Right.
I know exactly what he's talking about because there's certain things that are over your head and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
So I'm gonna get my check. I'm gonna get my check and just get on down the road because ain't nothing I can do.
See that? I can see that. that.
What can you do? He just talent.
It just sucks because y'all had such a great thing going.
You giving the Brutus and the Mark Anthonys and everybody else a chance to do what they want to do.
Yeah. But
Sonny, you know I'm looking at you, Sonny. You got something you want to say, Sonny. Go ahead and get it off your chest.
No, it was like, look, there was this, you guys, I don't know how much you remember, Kat, but you remember that he was talking about disgruntled, the med card guys, the Chris Benoits and Dean and Eddie and Perry Saturn. Remember they all went to Kevin Sullivan? And they said, it ain't going away. We can't, you need to give us something. We're stuck here in the middle doing all the duty work, doing all the house shows.
Exactly.
If you remember that. So
I remember it.
I don't know how many of you guys remember, somebody went over and talked to WWE and they all left. Yep. So
you don't remember me telling you, Sonny. You don't remember me telling you, Sonny, how I took these guys all to Baltimore and I had to dress them like little kids? So when they walk in the office and want some money, they'll look presentable. You don't remember me telling you that?
Oh, yeah, you dressed Perry Saturn.
All of them.
And the hat.
All of them.
Oh, hold on, Stephen. How did you do that, Stephen?
Because I got tired of looking at them.
Tell me that story. What do you mean dress them?
Okay. Did you ever go to that store with me in Baltimore? Me and my brother used to go to the store in Baltimore every time we go play Baltimore. And I can't even remember the name of the store now. And we would go over there. They kept all the latest fashions at this store. And in Houston, those same stuff hadn't got to Houston yet. Because, that's the East Coast. So all the stuff come off the boats from Europe over there, okay? So they would have all the latest stuff. And we would go over there and buy clothes and take them back to Houston. Maybe 6 months later, you start seeing those kind of different fashions in Houston. Maybe Atlanta, too. Atlanta probably was up on stuff, too. But down here in Texas, no, man, it'd take a while. But anyway, so when we got to, I can't remember which one of them asked me, hey, man, Steve, where you buy your clothes, man? I said, man, I get most of my stuff. I buy a little stuff in Houston, but I buy most of my stuff at this store in Baltimore. So whenever we go to Baltimore, I would always take another duffel bag, and I would buy all these clothes and take them back to Houston with me. And they were like, hey, man, can you take us there next time you go to Baltimore? And I said, yeah. So we were doing a show in Baltimore, and I took them all to this store, and I told my main man that ran the store, please dress these young men, because I'm tired of looking at them. You remember that hat Perry Saturn? You remember that hat Perry Saturn used to wear?
Yeah, and he showed up on TV wearing an Eddie Murphy hat.
Yeah, I got that hat for him. I said, this is gonna look good on you, brother, believe me. And they start wearing the nice shirts and the nice slacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. But see, don't nobody want to give old Ray Dog no credit, Sonny. You remember I told you this?
No, you didn't
and
tell
I
me.
want to give a Ray Dog no credit for trying to make him look presentable on the show.
I remember when that switched and they started wearing a lot of.
It's like you and me. Baltimore reminds me of the you and me sitting in a diversity meeting with Tim Goodley.
What? What, Sonny?
I don't know if you were there, Cat. They had this big meeting.
Remember, it was a house show. Remember, it was a house show, Sonny.
They said we had to have a diversity meeting. And this lady came out wearing all black from New York. She had to tell us that she was from New York. And she said, I am so-and-so. I am your diversity, whatever. And she said, I am going to talk very slow because you all is from Atlanta. And Stevie Ray and I looked at each other and said, man, that's like regional racism. What is that? Yeah, man, it was crazy. It was like we talked to Tim Goodley afterwards.
Me and Sonny, the only two people of color in this diversity meeting.
What did y'all do to get? Was it a punishment or what?
No, everybody that was on the show had to go to the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sonny, who was I? What was I doing on it? Who were you with?
I was Japanese, and I'm sure one of the Japanese guys, Baltimore or somebody.
I don't remember them being in the meeting.
Well, they didn't have to go because they didn't understand English.
Oh, okay. So me and Sonny
went as their interpreter.
And we going through this whole thing. Huh?
Who was the Stevie Ray? Who asked that lady the question? Was it one of the Nasty Boys? Brian Knobs?
I remember him saying something.
Something really like.
I remember me and you was like, is that it?
Yeah. And we stayed and talked to Tim Goodley afterward.
Right.
HR.
Yeah. Cat, we never told you about this?
I think I had to do one too at one of the shows too. So I remember the whole situation.
And when we in Sonny, were we in Baltimore?
It was Baltimore.
Okay.
That's what it reminded me of. Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't the day I took the guy shopping though. That was another day.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I used to get all my clothes from, man. Baltimore.
Well, you know what, man? We can't solve this problem in one show. But it was good. It was good to talk about.
Honestly, I think the problem has been solved because WCW is killed. They dead. It's over.
WCW is not dead, brother. WCW will never die.
World as long as they got the internet,
would live forever.
Brother.
And like I say, WCW could still be going on. Be going on. I think if it hadn't been for so much turmoil on the show and so much turmoil behind the scenes, because WCW still could have been it might not have been number one, but by the fact it became number one, everybody wanted it to be number one again.
Well, you got to remember,
we didn't expound on this.
You got to remember, guys, that Eric Bischoff actually made an offer to buy WCW.
I talked about that last night on the show.
They have agreed financial agreement with Turner to buy WCW. And he had people from Hollywood that was backing him. It was quite a couple of big names. But the reason why that deal fell through was because Turner said, "No, we're not giving you our television spots."
Right.
That's how that deal died.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So when Stevie Ray says that it still could be going, he's absolutely right.
But there's another thing, Sonny. Another thing, Sonny, that really made the stir the pot. That people remember when we started the Thunder Show?
Yeah.
One of the main things I said, and you can go back and ask any of the boys I used to talk to. I said the only way the Thunder Show is going to work, it's got to be a totally different show from the Monday show. I swear to God, I said this.
Yeah.
It's got to be 100% totally different. I'm talking about from the announcers, the way it's set up, everything. And you see who did it right? WWE they did it right.
Yeah.
What WWE did is what I was talking about way back then. That was the only way the show was going to work. But what did they do? They did a carbon copy of the Monday show.
Even continued the storylines on to Thursday night.
So in essence, you just got 5 hours of the same stuff.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Should have used it to get the new talent over on Thunder is what I would have done.
You should have used it to just separate the two. Look at all the people that we're talking about that was on the roster on one show. You telling me that's enough roster to have 3 shows?
Absolutely.
Hey,
so you split them up.
Steven,
and have them talking shit back to each other from one show to the next. Creatively, it could have been done.
Can you believe that Eric Bischoff went after WCW? I think, Sonny, do you remember the amount that Eric offered to buy WCW for? Was it 50 million or 150 million?
I don't really know. I don't recall the amount.
It was that much.
I think it was 50. I think it was 50 million or 100 million.
Well, you know, Vince.
Well, I don't quite know the number, but I don't
Time
know.
Warner didn't want the number.
If it's that kind of number, why did he sell to Vince for $2 million?
No,
but Time Warner didn't want the show. On their network.
Correct.
Yep.
That's what screwed it all up because he wasn't going to have a TV.
And you know what?
Slot.
That's the conclusion of our show, and it's saying that is the demise of WCW.
That's pretty. You know something, Sonny? I think you got it. Yeah. That was pretty much the demise. Because once it went off, they didn't sell the company. They just sold the logo and the library.
Yep. Yeah.
Vince them had the option on everything else.
Right. They didn't buy the music. Right. None of the music publishing was never bought by WWE.
And the reason I was talking about this on the show last night, and the reason I know something is awry, because nobody sells a library for $5 million. Nobody.
Yeah. Was that the figure?
Nobody sells a library for $5 million because that's just like reruns on a popular sitcom like Sanford and Son. They're still being sold all over the world. 200 countries still see Sanford and Son all over the world.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it was before the streaming and all that stuff. So now it's more valuable now. You know.
But you remember, Sonny, that was at the beginning of that.
Yeah. Whoever had a foresight.
Remember that? It was just getting started, streaming and all, like YouTube, just a couple of years, seeing this stuff, the internet, YouTube, all that stuff was just getting started then. How do you give that away? And
and it wasn't just WCW, it was all NWA and all that stuff.
It was AOL Time Warner, remember?
Right. What I'm saying is they invented that.
I know.
They are TV people. You look at all the reruns from shows back in the 50s that's still showing today. They are part of that. How could they give that up? Either they're the dumbest in the world or it was personal.
It was personal.
There is, the guy who was involved in a sale, the guy did work for WWE before.
Now you see what I'm talking about.
Who moved over to Turner. Who was involved
now you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was an inside job.
The fix was in. And then tell them again, you can't have wrestling on your programming for the next 20 years. No complete clause. No compete clause.
And now that's why AEW's got some spots, because it's 20 years later. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
they ain't gonna never admit it. But you notice how as soon as the 20 years was up, AEW hit the fucking floor running.
Yep.
Right.
Hey, well, listen, guys, I'm glad you guys can come on. I mean, we really didn't get to the bottom of it, but we somewhere near that. Because so many
let me ask you a question, Kat. You ask us all these questions about what we thought. Who do you think killed WCW? You never even said.
I don't think WCW is dead. I think they just tucked it away. I think they tucked it away to pull it back out when time is right. And I think with this show they have on TV right now, who is it produced by? The Rock.
Yeah.
They had nothing to do with WCW. Why are they trying to sneak it out again now? I think they get rid
for
of
ratings, man. That's all. This is just to make money. It's a money grab.
Listen,
there's been several documentaries done on the fall of WCW. So,
and I think WCW is about to be used again somewhere somehow.
Especially some of the archives. I don't think
exactly.
production
WCW is still owned by the people that now own WWE. So I mean that went with that.
This is a part of Geiger. This is a part of Geiger wanting to sell all the old WCW stuff. So they got to jumpstart it some kind of way. These people ain't dumb.
So do you think TKO? You think TKO is trying to offload the library of WCW?
They're going to use it. They're going to use it and make you pay for it.
Yeah. Okay. Why in the heck do you think they pay so much money? Hey, so I hear that Netflix paid what? $5 billion
for Monday Night Raw. $5 billion
for
Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw. And I hear that they really feel good about having sports entertainment on Netflix. So
because it's going to drive people are going to be paying $20 a month to have Netflix to watch Monday Night Raw that didn't have it before. And then if they want that free stuff, they got USA for SmackDown.
Right.
And they got WCW whenever they want to do history.
Well, that might be in the package. That might be in the package too.
That's on Peacock.
You got to realize that WWE Network and all this stuff is all under the same network now.
Yeah, Peacock.
Peacock, yes.
Yeah.
It's a bigger picture to all of this shit, bro.
Which is NBC, which is connected with USA.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Netflix isn't connected. That's a separate entity.
But just like the what is the station that shows Thursday Night Football now?
Amazon. It's like Amazon's getting involved too.
It's the same thing, brother.
Yeah. So everybody's going to get pushed.
For you to get this, you got to subscribe to that.
Right. And I think cable TV is going away. I think it's all going to be streaming here before long. You won't have the direct TVs.
That is what I'm saying.
And the Comcasts. It's all going to go away.
There's no way somebody could give away archives when you see the direction of where media is going.
Right. I just invested in some streaming companies because of the advertising dollars is what's going to generate the money for these streaming services. And once these drug companies, because when you sit down to eat dinner at night, once Ozempic and all these people get away from cable TV and go to the streaming services, cable TV's dead because there's their advertising dollars. All you see is drug.
So Ray, the answer to your question is,
I agree with Ray.
WCW is not dead. It's not dead.
Well, it's alive. The ghost of WCW is alive.
It's not a ghost, brother. If it was a ghost, that means Stevie Ray, Sonny Onoo, and Ernest and Cat Miller would never be here.
No, here.
WCW, the archiving. WCW, the logo ain't dead, but the company died a long time ago.
The business of WCW. But listen,
they still gonna make money. They still gonna make money off it, and that's what I'm talking about. And just like Big Ray was just saying, the money that Netflix has just spent for this, how long you think that's been in the works?
I bet you
stuff like that don't go. Stuff like that just don't come out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. I bet you before. It was before
this the deal. We got to take the company. Go ahead.
Think about this. See, because I'm a conspiracy guy. Who do you think planted that story on Vince? Got that shit going again? Get his ass out of the picture so they can get
the very people that want the company.
That's exactly right.
Let me answer that.
The very people that want the company.
Donald Trump.
No. The same people that set up Trump are the same people that set up Vince.
Correct.
Yeah.
The people that
the same fucking people because they got an agenda. While we arguing and fussing about this, that, and the other, like the downfall of this, or should this
keeping us over here? Keeping us over here.
Should this guy be indicted? At the end of the day, somebody trying to get their bag in some way, shape, or form. And who got rich?
About the money.
Who got rich off the coronavirus? Who got rich off
my
of
uncle said.
The drug companies got rich.
Who got rich?
Well, after
Pfizer,
the war. You know what my uncle said?
Yes.
Look, Sonny,
It's
what
the
did your
Koreans.
uncle say? What
The
did your
Koreans
uncle
the one
say,
who's
Sonny?
behind all this.
The Koreans.
Big Ray.
He said,
That's what my
Big
uncle
Ray.
said.
Yes.
Big Ray, let me ask you a question. Who's one of the founding members of Moderna? Do you know?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's a Rothschild, Rockefeller, or somebody like that.
How about your old friend, Dr. Fauci?
Oh, I'm sure. He ain't my old friend. That son bitch deserves hell.
No, I'm just asking you a question.
Yeah,
I'm just sure you
he's
say you're a
involved.
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
All you got to do is read between the tea leaves and do a little research. That's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the main guy that's talking out, coming back, you got to take this, that, and the other, is the main guy that's one of the board members.
Oh, yeah. Of Moderna.
Founding members
of Moderna. You're right.
How many billions did they make?
Too many to count.
Exactly.
Too many to count. It's
so
wrong.
You see what I'm saying?
Eventually,
but see, this is the main thing. I need a patsy to make it work.
Right. Somebody's got to take the fall.
Yep.
And it'll end up being Fauci.
No, the guy that's taking the fall is Donald Trump, brother. Ain't nothing gonna happen to Fauci.
Yeah, but Trump's gonna be your president again.
You think so,
guys?
Oh yeah, sure.
How much? Hold on, Cat. Wait a minute. How much money you want to put on that?
500 right now. I won't back up.
Got you. 500. I got 1,000 with one guy. I got 500 with you.
Really?
Yes.
You don't think he's gonna be the president?
Let me ask you this. For 4 years, Donald Trump been saying, I hate to get off on this, but I got to address this. For 4 years, Donald Trump said, and everybody that follows Trump said that the election was stolen from him. I want you right now on this show to tell the whole world, if it's so easy to steal a presidential election, what the hell's going to stop them from doing it again?
Because they put the safeguards in this time to keep it from happening.
And what are the safeguards? Safeguards been in since for 100 years.
Well, no, I'm telling you, man, we've been sold a lie.
But you can't prove it. Safeguards been in for 1,000 years.
Well, the military will get involved this time. Watch what I'm telling you.
Okay. Well, and what are they going to do?
They're going to poll watch.
Yes, like you poll watch.
But hey, that's you. You like the poll. I know you. Listen, you own it. Meat right or hush.
You cannot use the military unless something is going on, like people fighting and stuff like that. That's the only way the president can call in the military. Military does not.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Where you getting this bullshit from, bro?
Well, I'm just telling you.
Are you kidding me? Your military protects the nation, not ballot boxes.
Well, let me say this. The National Guard. We'll say that.
National Guard got to be called in by the president also.
Well,
they just don't do it on GP.
I get it. But watch what happens.
You must don't know the difference between laws of the state and laws.
Oh, I do. I think the states. The problem is
federal laws and state laws are totally different. You know that, right?
Every state's different. I get it.
No. I said federal laws and state laws are different, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. The National Guard are called in. National Guard is called in for emergency situations.
I understand.
So where do you get this shit from, bro? I thought you was a smart guy.
Watch what happens.
First is the Army, then it's the National Guard, and they don't even know what the hell they're looking for.
Hey, Big Ray, did you know? Hold up, Big Ray. We gonna have to fire you, man, because Stevie Ray is eating your ass alive.
You won't let me listen, Colin. Eat my ass like a pot of collard greens. I know what you're gonna say. But listen.
No, dog, because I hear this shit all the time. Nobody can.
Did you not see the video of Nancy Pelosi in the car? They finally got her on the hot mic saying that she had the ability to use the National Guard on January 6th, but declined it.
Yes, I did see that.
Okay. That implicates her to make Trump correct when Trump said, I gave him the ability. Trump was still the president. Trump was still the president on January 6th.
Nancy Pelosi, dog, because that was a riot.
It wasn't a riot.
But the president is the person that oversees that whole thing. He's got the power before her. She's secondary. She doesn't override the president. She's just the Speaker of the House.
But in the jurisdiction of Washington, D.C., it's an entity among itself.
But
like the Vatican
the president still has the first option.
Not inside the District of Columbia. It has its own police force. It has its own deal. He has to offer it to them.
I know that.
And they did not accept it. They said, we don't want it. But
they also have their own police.
Right, that's right. And the police was part of the problem. And the police was part of the issue. You remember they shot that girl?
What does that have to do with guarding ballots, voting ballots? What they got to do with that?
Ballot harvesting happened. If you watched 1,000 Mules.
61 courts said you're a liar.
Well, I don't know, man. The 61 courts.
No. I'm just going by. Let's take it by the fact. 61 courts and 61 judges say you're a liar.
Let's look at the 61 judges. Let's look at the 61 judges. Who were they appointed by? Were they George Soros and left wing? Of course they were.
Now you admitted that you are a conspiracy theorist. The only thing I'm saying to you is this. Everything that you're saying, if it's true, everything that you're saying from George Soros on down, if it's true, how are you going to stop him from stealing an election again? You said the National Guard and you said the Army, which is 100% bullshit.
I'm so deep into it. I still think that Trump is the commander-in-chief still.
Well, that ain't what I'm talking about. You said he's going to be president in November. I want to know if they stole an election, how are they going to stop him?
The commander-in-chief is still
How are they going to stop him from stealing the election?
Watch what happened.
I'm not talking about your beliefs. I'm not talking about your beliefs. You can believe in Rocky the Flying Squirrel. I really don't care. Right now, we're going to talk about real facts. We're going to talk about real facts and not conspiracy theories. Because at the end of the day, if somebody can steal a nationwide election, how are you going to stop them from stealing it again?
Well, we're going to go to paper ballots.
You ain't going to use the National Guard. We've already
paper ballots.
The National Guard.
Paper
so
ballots.
Everybody going to use a paper ballot.
Just like we used to. And
the whole nation.
Yeah. Don't you remember?
Okay, I'll bet you another $500 that won't happen in this country.
Well, I used the paper one this time when I went and voted.
You can always use a paper one. What I'm saying is it will not be mandated that the whole country use a paper ballot.
If they have a cyber thing, they will have to.
If Jesus Christ was coming back, if is a big word depending on what context you're using there. I want you to explain to me how they're going to stop an election.
They're not going to stop the election.
You got to stop the steal. That's what you said.
It's going to be too big to rig, brother. There's going to be so many people. It's going to overwhelm the system. But why don't you
explain to me how?
Because you got to look at the polls. Look at the polls now. Even the polls that are.
Oh, but you didn't look at them last time.
No, the polls last time had Biden ahead.
You didn't look at them in 2012. You didn't look at them in 2008. You didn't look at them in 2004. You didn't look at them in 2000. But you're going to look at them in 2024. But how ridiculous does that sound? But anyway,
come on, man.
I appreciate your banter, bro. I do. I appreciate you.
Here's the
deal.
I
love listening to you. I love listening to you.
Just to clear the air, we got 500 on it. I'm saying Trump gonna win. You saying he's not. Who do you think the president's gonna be then? You think Biden?
I don't give a fuck about Democrats or Republicans. I was talking about Donald Trump. I'm not like you.
Okay.
I ain't looking for no old 80-something-year-old white man to save me from shit. You dig? I'm a black man in America. I don't need their fucking help because I'm battling an uphill battle every fucking day.
I know, and I think
so. I don't need somebody helping me.
Don't you think he was? Don't you think he was on the side of the African American?
I don't give a fuck what he was on the side of. That's not what I'm debating. What I'm saying is I'll never look at a man like he's a god. I would never do that.
I don't look at him like he's a god.
You know what I'm saying? I would never make concessions for something that don't make sense. I'll never do that. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, a president can only do so much because this country is not ran by a man sitting in a fucking White House. And if you believe that, brother, you're too old for me to help you.
No, there's 5 families that run the show. I get all that, but there is I'm so deep into the conspiracy, and you and I can talk off air on it. But what I'm saying is,
I'm just saying, a president is just like Eric Bischoff
going on right now.
President is just like what Eric Bischoff did.
I got you. Trump, 2024.
And when they want you in, you're going to be in. When they want you out, you're going to be out. It's that simple.
That's called the deep state, brother. That's what we're fighting.
Okay, we got a deep state. How do you fight them?
You got to get them out of there, baby. You got to get them out. You got to vote them out.
Deep state means you can't see the people that's really pulling the strings.
Correct.
How do you get rid of them?
There's a lot of stuff going on.
That's a lot of stuff, but you can't chronicle it. Anybody can talk about it, but you got to be about it, bro. This is what I'm going to tell you right now. if there's a deep state out there, if you really believe in that, and I do, I'm gonna be honest with you, I do. I'm gonna tell you just like my mother used to tell me, boy, you better know your beans from your cornbread.
That's right. I understand.
Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means?
Yeah, you got to know what you're talking about.
Now, you better know who to fuck with and who not to.
Right, I get it.
Because see, I don't fuck with the cat because I know what he's capable of. But I fuck with Sonny.
The mother.
Hey, you give it.
Okay, Black Bomber, you've been talking enough.
Hey, wait a minute, son. That was a joke, man. Why you gotta call me Black?
Black Bomber, that's what you're known as in Tokyo.
Steven,
I think what you guys are looking at right now is the UN of wrestling, brother. You've got the Indian, you've got the Japanese, you've got the African American, and then you've got the cracker, brother. Here, the UN
Where's
of wrestling.
The Indian?
Right there.
Yeah, that's Cat.
Cat's the Cherokee.
I'm a black man, brother. I'm a black man.
Now,
you remember I told you Cat got some Navajo in him.
I'm a black man here on the Cat's Corner podcast. I'm with Stevie Ray.
We didn't just tape that, did we? We didn't just tape that, did we?
Yes,
he said he was.
I thought we was off the air.
No, we ain't off the air.
I wouldn't have never said all that stuff I said.
Well, I thought
we was off the air.
And I'm glad you just said
Big Ray, edit that out, man. Edit that out, Big Ray.
I don't do any of that. I'm talent.
He be on Nightline tonight.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, we can't put that on there, dog.
Yes, I am. I'm putting
the black band is coming for Ray and Stevie Ray. The black band.
Oh, brother.
Hey, I was about to ask Stevie what he think about Palestine.
No, don't go there,
fool.
I'll tell you the truth about Palestine because I've been over there. I was in Lebanon. I was in Lebanon for a week. Talking to people about the war that they had with Israel. So yeah, I know a lot about it.
What's your opinion?
Well, I'll tell you that on another episode.
Okay. Because I'm part.
Cat trying to get me in trouble, man. Cat trying to get me in trouble.
Yeah, because he knows I got a little Jew in me. That's why he's trying to do that.
I'm trying to get you and Ray to go ahead because Ray got a unique understanding of the situation.
Hey man, if you are anything with Israeli descent, I can understand where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, this shit goes back over 100 years.
It goes to Ishmael and Isaac. It goes all the way back to Abraham.
I'm not talking about the biblical side of it. I'm just talking about the side of it. Whereas the Ashkenazi Jew that comes from Europe as it pertains to what's going on in Israel right now. Well, all that stuff was implemented back in the early 1900s.
Correct.
Okay, let's get off of this right here. Yeah. This is Ernest. Hey, listen, I'm Ernest the Cat Miller here on the Cat's Corner with who?
Well, you were with Sonny Onoo, but he just dodged out on us.
Hey, Sonny Onoo. Big Steven. Big Steven, thanks, man. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you for coming on.
Man, you ruined my whole day, man. I supposed to went to the post office.
Hey, man, you and Big Ray got into it. I just sit back and watch. But
I have these kind of conversations with people all the time. I have nothing against Ray. I
got nothing but love for you, man.
I got nothing against Donald Trump. I got nothing against nobody. I just know what I'm looking at. I told everybody this was going to happen before Donald Trump got elected out of office. Did you know that, Ray? And I told everybody what was going to happen. Yeah,
well, I think he's going to be our first real black.
Oh, I know president. You think that, brother. You've been told to believe that. You have no choice. But I get it.
Big Ray,
baby mama.
You leave Stevie alone right now and go ahead and sign us out with our sponsor, please.
Thank you, Recite. Thank you, Lush Jewelry, and thank you to all.
Are they going to be sponsors after this?
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah. Hey, if I don't get rid of Ray, they may not
4K Investments, Swirl Recordings and Film.
I love it.
All right, there, brother. I'll hit you guys up
TNT, CNN, and Fox News.
Hopefully.
Have a good day, guys. We appreciate it.
Brother.